Hello traders, this is Cloud Chartist. I wanted to do a quick video on Tesla. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, and I kind of wish that I had, because Tesla did indeed have a really huge move this morning on open, a very quick, fast squeeze. Now it's just moving sideways after a big move to 222, a little bit over 222. So we're going to start off with the weekly time frame. Looking at the weekly time frame, I drew some fibs from this candle body high here back in June of last year, and this candle body low back in February of this year. It won't be this year for much longer. I'm gonna have to watch myself there. And it's interesting that we have some confluent levels based on these fibs. So now that you see where I've drawn them from, we'll zoom into more current price. So we see that we do have the 50% of that move right around where today's or this week's candle opened up, slightly above where this week's candle opened up, pretty much confluent with the top of the cloud. I was wondering if this cloud here would stop price action to the upside and if we would get a pullback, but since we gapped up and broke over the cloud, that's not the case. Now we have the cloud acting as support, and that's currently at 213.85. So I'm looking at this zone up here for a continuation of the move, and I'll show you what levels that we have to work with. We have a gap here, an open body gap on the weekly time frame. So I'm looking for that to potentially act as resistance. The bottom of that gap is 228. The top of that gap is 230, thereabouts. We also have the 61.8 of that fib retracement that I drew, and that level is at 230.75. And then we have the Chicow, this red line here representing price action time shifted 26 periods into the past. The Chicow is going to come into resistance at the bottom of the cloud right here, and that's at 232.77. So I'm looking at that 230, 232 area as potential resistance. We did have potential resistance just slightly over that here previously before this move down. So that's the area I'm looking at above if we do continue higher. This has been a really strong move to the upside, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some sideways price action. We could even pull back down as far as this, as the cloud in the coming weeks. We could pull back as far as the cloud down here around let's see where that is, 209.78, thereabouts is this cloud here, but that's like looking into the end of January, so we won't count our chickens before they hatch. So let's look at some shorter time frames before you get. I found that I looked at my YouTube statistics and found that the average viewing time of my videos is about 4 minutes and some odd seconds, and my videos are usually like my weekly videos are usually like 17 to 24 minutes long. So obviously people don't have very long attention spans, so that's why I'm trying to keep this a little bit more concise. So on the daily time frame, we are getting pretty extended above the cloud, and we do have a flat cloud below here, and we are overbought on the RSI on the daily time frame. We also are going to have this gap to deal with on the daily. So if we do get a pullback on the daily time frame, we're looking at first filling this gap here, and that goes to 213.34. And then we have the Tenkan-sen, which is offering support on the daily at 209.51. So some more levels to keep in mind for Tesla on the daily time frame. I think I'll just go down to the 4-hour, and then I'll let you go back to whatever you're doing. On the 4-hour chart, this is extremely bullish Ichimoku. You can see that when we've gotten overbought on the 4-hour in the past, each time we've gotten a pullback. We had a overbought here in the pullback, tweezer tops, overbought here, pullback, pretty decent pullback there, overbought here, slight pullback, so we're quite overbought, more overbought than we have been even previously on the 4-hour time frame. So it would not be surprising to see some sort of pullback before continuation higher. and we do have support at 214.98 if we, if things get going to the downside. So that's about it for Tesla. Thanks for joining me. I just want to update you on where things stand on the longer time frames for Tesla.